As a small business owner himself, Ed understands that small business needs all the support they can get to create jobs in this economy. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Potosnak.
Thank you. And I also want to thank Paul for opening up his shop for us. And if you have a chance to talk to him, ask him a little bit more. This is more than a business for him. This is a passion that comes through in everything that he does, from the products that he puts out in front, to the way he recycles them, to add into the growing of organic produce that he uses to then create more food for us to enjoy. So thank you, Paul, for having us. And, I want to thank Chairman Schaefer as well for being here with us today, and other distinguished guests. It's really great to see you all here, and I'm very excited. Many of you know, besides running for Congress, I'm a high school science teacher. And before that, long before that, I worked with my parents in their small business that we did with my brothers. And just a few years ago, I started my own small business doing home improvements to help make ends meet. And I mention that today because we're here with Paul, looking at his small business and what the representatives in Washington should and could be doing to help him to make sure that he has all the tools and he needs to help our economy grow, to meet the needs of his family, and help us get ahead in a very, very tough time. Like many more across our district and across our nation, Paul Alirangues and his small business are the key to the future of our economy. Paul's organic produce store, the cafe here, has been a bright spot since it opened in North Plainfield just a little while ago. Part of Paul's business plan was to expand this already successful business and to add additional 2 to 5 jobs to his payroll. Building a new kitchen in the spot where we're standing, where I'm standing, and where you guys are right here. To make this expansion a reality, Paul's plan included applying for a small business loan with funding in the federal jobs bill that was debated in Congress. While the bill eventually did pass the U.S. House of Representatives, Paul's congressman, Mr. Lance, was among a group of partisan career politicians who stood in the way of this bill's passage, voting no on at least 3 occasions. That delay in the jobs bill meant Paul's application, as he told us, was put on hold, and so was the progress here in expanding his business. This location was closed even longer, pending the renovations, which meant that Paul's revenue stream was halted, existing jobs were without pay, and the pending new jobs were delayed even further. During this period, Paul sought the assistance of his representatives in Washington. And when he reached out to Congressman Lance, all he got were political answers for why he opposed the jobs bill, why he opposed helping small business owners like himself. People like Paul are trying to do the best that they can to help their families, to help their local economies, and to help our economic recovery, and in addition, our environment. However, Lance's no votes didn't give Paul the edge he needed to compete. Lance's no votes didn't help him create a single job. Now, fortunately for Paul, this loan was approved, and today I believe is the signing of the document to execute the funds, and the work will be proceeding. But too many times across this district and across the nation, small business owners like Paul, they are running into career politicians like Mr. Lance. These long-term office holders, they're more concerned with getting reelected and serving the needs of their big corporate donors than they are in helping us. The career politicians have either forgotten or they don't really understand what it means to meet payroll, how to grow jobs, how to meet the needs of their family, how they can help to pay bills on time, and how difficult it is to gain an edge in competition. I think it's time that America got its edge back. And one way to start is by getting rid of the career politicians in Washington and electing real-world people with real-world experience. Paul's story, it ultimately has a happy ending. And that's no fact, and as we heard, it's despite Congressman Lance. But I'm running for Congress because there are many more entrepreneurs that stand ready to join Paul and lead our economic recovery. I'm running for Congress because America needs to get its edge back. There was a time in America where we could do anything. We could put a man on the moon. And today, we're struggling to plug an oil leak in the Gulf. We put people to work building things like cars and TVs, refrigerators, and today we suffer from some of the highest unemployment in our lifetime. Our students rank top of the world in math and science, and today, we're in the bottom third of industrialized nations. America is losing its edge because divisive politics, they're standing in the way of getting the job done. Too many career politicians, like my opponent, they're more interested in their re-election than representing us. They've allowed the contributors, the special interests that dump tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars into their campaigns to control the agenda. And they're more interested in helping to meet their needs than meeting the needs of our working families living on Main Street. I'm a science teacher. I am not a career politician. I put myself through Rutgers to become a scientist and a teacher. I took on extra jobs when times were tough. I started my own business. And I will use that real-world experience to make sure America gets its edge back. I will make sure that our students can afford to go to college, not bail out big banks. I want to help businesses and reward them when they create jobs, not ship jobs overseas. And I want to make sure we make investments in research and development so that America can be the most innovative nation and lead the world in our global economy. I don't think electing a 25-year career politician is the answer. I'm a science teacher. I will represent you. I'll make sure we get our priorities right, and I will help us to make sure America gets our edge back. Thank you. So if there are questions for any of, for Paul or I, from folks that are here, if you could just state your name and who you're with, and we're happy to answer them. I don't know where to look. There's a little post right there. Just look.
Bad, negative.
Don't worry about the podium. The podium's not.
Once you got a good question. I love you trying to think as an outsider.
What's up? Yes. I mean, I want to. You mentioned his spell.